County Board of Supervisor meeting, and thank everybody for being here. And we'll go ahead and start with Pledge of Allegiance. I've asked Supervisor Howard to lead us in that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Supervisor Howard. Hannah, do we have anyone online today? Okay. Can we get a motion to approve our minutes of our regular meeting and work session held on May 19th?
So moved, Chairman Mack.
I will second that.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Can we get a motion to approve our demands and handwritten warrants?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. We will now hear from Mindy Young with the Superior Court.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is going to be very cumbersome because I have, I think, 9 contracts to present, so I'll try to just be brief. If you have questions, please let me know. I did detail the agenda requests for you guys. The first request I have is approval of an indigent defense agreement between the Superior Court of Graham County and Attorney Dennis P. McCarthy for fiscal year 26. It would start in July and it would end in June of 2026. This contract mirrors fiscal year 25. There are no increases or modifications to this contract. And it's the same caseload, 140 cases. The different pay rates are down at the bottom. And Attorney McCarthy is our legal advocate for the Graham County Adult Veterans and Community Wellness Court. So there's also a stipend for that in the contract. It's an annual stipend of $5,000. We currently have approximately 40 individuals on community wellness right now, and they're really helping a lot of people with that stipend. So I would ask that you approve Attorney McCarthy's indigent defense adult contract.
Great, thank you. Any questions or concerns from the board?
Chairman, I just note I appreciate, Mindy, both your summary of the contract and then the agreements are comprehensive and very clear.
Thank you.
And makes it easy to review and approve. So I would move that we go ahead and approve the indigent defense agreement with Attorney Dennis McCarthy for fiscal year 26.
I will second that.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you. The next one is an indigent defense agreement between Superior Court and Attorney Josie Lopez for fiscal year 26. It's basically the same terms, but the difference is Attorney Lopez does not have an adult stipend for a specialty court, and she does not, we do not address the juvenile delinquency appointments on this contract because she has a sole and separate contract for juveniles. And so hers is just a straight 140 cases plus some dependencies. So I would request that you would approve Attorney Josie Lopez. There are also no changes to this contract.
Questions or concerns?
I would, just a brief comment, and that is appreciation for the bilingual abilities of Attorney Lopez and the fact that she's able to represent those clients that English is a second language, and that's very important. I'd go ahead and move that we approve Attorney Josie Y. Lopez's FY26 indigent defense agreement.
I will second that.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you. The next one is for Attorney Rebecca Johnson. This is an adult indigent defense agreement between Superior Court and Ms. Johnson. It's for fiscal year 26. Again, the contract mirrors fiscal year 25. There are no increases or modifications. Ms. Johnson does receive an annual stipend. She is a legal advocate for the Adult Treatment Court. It was formerly Drug Court for adults. They're servicing over 25 individuals. The main focus of that program is just to hold probationers who have a significant drug problem or significant criminal history with drugs. They can be placed on adult treatment court, and then they can give them some extra consequences and extra assistance. And so she does get a stipend for that. This contract does not address juvenile delinquency appointments because she does have a sole and separate contract for that.
Questions or concerns?
Quick question on that, Mindy. Is the treatment court the same as the adult court? Is that the same process?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Is the treatment court, is that just off the same program? They've just expanded it from the adult court?
I think they just changed the name. It used to be drug court, and I think there was such a stigmatism to drug court that they changed it to treatment court. It's sole and separate from wellness.
Right.
They're two different specialty programs. Wellness helps people with serious mental illness diagnoses and are also have maybe dual diagnosis with drug problems and stuff. Drug court simply deals with repeat drug offenders, if that makes sense.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I would just mention, I won't do this for everyone, but for Attorney Johnson, her willingness to serve in this extra capacity, her growing expertise in helping to both divert and also reduce the recidivism is a great tool set for Graham County, and her efforts are very much appreciated. I'd go ahead and move that we approve her contract, also Rebecca Johnson, for FY26 indigent defense contract.
And seconded.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you. The next one is an indigent defense agreement between Superior Court of Graham County and Attorney Daisy Flores for fiscal year 26. This contract, again, it mirrors fiscal year 25. There are no increases or modifications. Ms. Flores does not currently assist with any specialty courts, so hers is just the straight 140 cases plus the dependencies and the best interest appointments. And so I would ask that you approve Attorney Daisy Flores.
Questions?
Nope. Questions here? Make a motion to approve the, Paul, do you have any comments on that?
Oh, no, thank you.
Make a motion to approve the indigent defense agreement between Attorney Daisy Flores for FY26.
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you. This next contract is an indigent defense agreement between Superior Court and Attorney Raymond Geiser for fiscal year 26. Same terms. This contract mirrors fiscal year 25. There are no increases or modifications requested for fiscal year 26. Mr. Geiser does not have an annual stipend for a specialty court, but he does now have a juvenile delinquency contract, and so this contract does not include juvenile delinquencies. That will be on a separate contract that I will present to you here in a minute. So I would request that you would approve Attorney Raymond Geiser.
Questions, concerns?
I'll make a motion, unless there's discussion, Chairman, that we go ahead and approve Attorney Raymond Geiser's FY26 indigent defense agreement.
And I will second that.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you. And the last adult contract is for Attorney Stephen Robertson. This is an indigent defense agreement with Mr. Robertson in Superior Court for fiscal year 26. Mr. Robertson came on board in fiscal year 25. He has been amazing. He dove in head first. He started taking difficult cases. His background is adult criminal defense. He has been a real blessing to Superior Court, and I think to Justice Court as well. His contract is the same as the rest. It mirrors fiscal year '25. There are no increases or modifications. It's 140 cases plus juvenile dependencies and BIA appointments, and he does not receive a stipend for any specialty courts. So I would ask that you approve the indigent defense agreement between Superior Court and Stephen Robertson.
Questions, motion?
Make a motion to approve the indigent defense agreement between the Court of Graham County and Attorney Stephen Robertson for fiscal year '26.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you. Now I'm moving on to my juvenile contracts. I have 3. They are pretty similar. So the first one is a juvenile defense attorney contract between Graham County Superior Court and Attorney Josie Lopez for fiscal year '26. Again, it mirrors fiscal year '25. There are no increases or modifications requested for fiscal year '26. The rates are outlined below. Ms. Lopez does receive an annual stipend as a legal advocate for the Graham County Juvenile Treatment Court, so the Juvenile Drug Court. The main focus of that program is to provide additional assistance to juvenile probationers so they remain compliant with their substance abuse treatment and counseling. So I would ask that you would approve Attorney Josie Y. Lopez's juvenile contract for fiscal year '26.
Questions?
And I just, actually for the next 3, are these all renewals, Mindy?
These are all renewals.
Okay, very good. I'd go ahead and move that we approve the Josie Y. Lopez Attorney at Law FY '26 Juvenile Defense Attorney Agreement.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you. The next one is a juvenile defense attorney contract, renewal of a juvenile defense attorney contract between Graham County Superior Court and Attorney Rebecca Johnson for fiscal year '26. Again, it mirrors fiscal year '25. There's no increases or modifications, and she does not receive an annual stipend for any juvenile specialty courts. So I would ask that you would approve Attorney Rebecca Johnson's juvenile contract for the coming fiscal year.
Go ahead and make a motion for approve Attorney Rebecca Johnson for juvenile defense attorney for FY '26.
I'll second Supervisor's motion.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you. And the last one is for Attorney Raymond Geiser for fiscal year '26. It's a juvenile defense attorney contract. We did bring him on board due to the high caseload. We brought him on board as a prorated contract in fiscal year '25. He has been a huge help to Ms. Lopez and Ms. Johnson. There are no increases in his contract, no changes, and he does not receive an annual stipend for any specialty courts. He simply picks up the cases that would have otherwise been appointed to an adult indigent defense attorney as a conflict, if that makes sense. So I would request that you would approve Mr. Geiser's juvenile defense attorney contract.
Questions, concerns from the board?
I'll go ahead and make a motion and then a comment, but I'd move that we go ahead and approve the juvenile defense attorney agreement with Attorney Raymond Geiser for FY '26, and would note that just with the adult indigent defense, that the Graham County, as part of our responsibility to the citizens, that's part of we're mandated to provide legal defense for those who can't afford it, and that's over $600,000 a year that we use in supporting people, their rights for legal representation, and that is that's money that we're required to spend. But I appreciate very much the group of attorneys who this is not the most rewarding of vocations. You know, you can make more money in other areas of the law, but they have a feeling of a need for social justice and to represent these people well, give them an opportunity to either be acquitted or to have an opportunity to return back after their cases are adjudicated. So that's my comment, and very much appreciated. It's a lot of money. We're required to do it, but we do it very well. Thank you.
If I may, I think last year, maybe the year before, they mandated, I'll defer to Attorney Bennett, but I think they mandated that all juveniles get an attorney now. Am I correct? There is no indigent defense. They just all get a court-appointed attorney now for juveniles.
Okay. Well, thank you. I made, before my statement, I made a motion that we approve for Attorney Geiser.
I will second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Mindy. We appreciate you and all you do for us over at the court.
Thank you.
You're a great asset. Thank you. Now turn the time over to Eric Engel with the engineering department.
Good morning. Yes. So this is for approval of Mary Aiden right-of-way payment modification. So this came to your board meeting last time, but the payment in there was the wrong number. So this is just modifying that to reflect what's actually on the books and what she's supposed to get.
Questions or concerns?
No. Just welcome, Eric, your new position. It's
thanks.
New face and exciting times, so welcome. And I would, I don't know if Paul has any comments or not before I make a motion.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead and make we always want to get right-of-ways, and thank you for amending this, and I make a motion to approve the Mary Aiden right-of-way.
And for those people who were read carefully the details and look for trends, Graham County has not changed their policy about paying for right-of-way. This is a community development block grant, federal money, and it was a requirement. We still like to acquire and desire to acquire right-of-way, but we are not routinely paying for it. People donate it, receive the benefit of a reduced tax bill, and then altruistically provide for the welfare of the community. So I'd go ahead and second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Thank you, Eric, and congratulations on your new position. We're excited to see what you do with the engineering department. Turn the time over to Steve McGoy with Planning and Zoning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning.
Have a special event liquor license for United We Stand at the Ag Building at the Fairgrounds, July 19th. It's a little ways out. It's a fundraiser and will be run by Sarah's Bullpen as far as the alcohol end of it, and it's from 5 to 10 p.m. on that date. And I don't know a whole lot more about it than that, but I know they got their application in way ahead of most people.
Yeah, this is early. Any questions or concerns?
What is this organization?
It's Secret Soldiers. It's the
Soldier?
providing care packages to soldiers throughout the. It's Arizona-based, Safford-based.
I got you. Thank you.
I do have a concern, Mr. Chairman, and that is, and looking at the application, two things stood out. The drawing under the schematics where they're supposed to draw where the different where their bars located and how since they're going to be admitting general public and minors, how they keep the bar and the people who are drinking separated or at least identified so that we don't have underage drinking. It's a very rudimentary sketch, and it doesn't really provide the information, and it also is lacking any information about the number of security personnel, and typically we get a listing of, someone will say, well, we'll have 2 off-duty officers, but there's absolutely nothing in this diagram or this application. And so I checked with our Director McGoy about this, and there it seems to be adequate time, and I would like to, for discussion, either see a revision and an upgraded diagram and more information about that, either via reapplying or just modifying. And I believe there's still time for them to do that, to satisfy what I would consider any risk that the county has.
Yeah, it would have to come back to you. You have 2 more meetings before they would be up against a deadline. And I think they do have to hire some off-duty deputies, but it doesn't mention that. It just says security provided by bar.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think that's more of the IDing people.
Well, and it's a great organization. I looked up online. They have some affiliates though that are they have some motorcycle clubs that are affiliates, local and regional, and so nothing against them except that they if they have a large turnout. These people enjoy partying, enjoy the partaking of liquor, and it's just a good idea to have security defined. So I would move, unless you can direct us. Would you be comfortable, and the county manager, would you be comfortable in having a revision that is approved by the Steve McGoy rather than having it come back to the board for review?
You want me to take that, Steve?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think since we have time, would be comfortable either way, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, either way you want to do it. If you want to provide Steve and his office direction on what you would like to see additional, and if we receive that, we can move forward, we can do it that way, or we could table it till the next meeting and you can have another look at it. We're comfortable either way.
Any preference?
It doesn't matter to me. Let's make it the simplest way. Like I said, it's a good organization, and it does need to be done properly. There's no doubt to me, but I feel like if the revisions comes to Steve and it's proper and you feel comfortable with it, I don't think you need to bring it back to us on that. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I agree. They're legitimate concerns, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
Very good. I'll make a motion then that we, pending the a revision of the diagram and more information that's acceptable to planning and zoning on security, that we go ahead and approve the special event liquor license for United We Stand, and I wish them very well and success in their fundraising.
I will second that.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you. I'll assure that all those T's get crossed and I's get dotted. Our second application for liquor license is a permanent, or well, not permanent, but not a temporary liquor license for the VFW. They have had one before. I don't know if it was intentional or accidental that they let it lapse, but they realized that there are functions that go on at their facility that need that liquor license, so they are applying to get one back in-house. And if you have any questions about it, I know you guys remember two or three meetings back, we had to get a temporary one for them to function, and I think that's when they realized that they had let it lapse.
Okay.
And we heard nothing from the neighbors. It was posted for its 2 weeks.
Great.
No.
It's a historical, Chairman, historically they've had a license. Looking at their application, I do serve on the State Liquor Board. They do have one of their responsible parties does have a prior, they marked, they had a prior episode with the law. And so whatever, if we're comfortable in, and a brief explanation, if we're comfortable in approving it, that doesn't necessarily mean that the state won't protest it, because typically what they'll do is, if someone has had a situation where they've had been convicted or processed for a violation, then they oftentimes they'll say, well, you'll need to get a different managing person. So I don't know what the state will do, but even if we approve it, doesn't mean that it will not be protested by the state. I think there's 2 of the 3 have no prior problems with the law, and so I don't think that the license is in question. It's just a matter of, will they accept if we approve, will they accept the application with one of the 3 managers having a prior arrest. So I'd go ahead. Again, this is an organization. They're revising it. They do a lot of bingo. They have a lot of community events, charitable events. Great men and women who are there, and a great cause. So I don't want to stand in their way. Just noting that that they may have a little bit of a uphill struggle as their application goes forward, if we approve it. Okay. I'd go ahead and move, though, unless you have anything, that we go ahead and approve the local government portion of it, approve that, and then let the state liquor license board decide, or not the board, but the administration decide and either approve or request a modification.
I will second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
All right, we will now turn the time over to Manager Welker with the Board of Supervisors.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. As you know, Michael Bryce, our county engineer of 25 years with Graham County, retired last week. He also had over 20 years in the private sector. Had a remarkable career. There are a couple things that he was working on, and we knew they wouldn't come to an end before he retired. So our intent was to bring him back on partially to help finish out some of these projects. Specifically, we've been working with NRCS through their grant for going on 3 to 4 years now. It's a very large project, looking at the watersheds throughout the entire county, working closely with Safford Thatcher and Pima to identify ways to alleviate flooding in correlation with the canal system. So this has been a huge project, and we are nearing the end. We're hoping to be done with this in September and October. The contract that we're proposing has a definitive end on December 31st, though we may not need it for that long. But the focus on this would be to finish out that NRCS grant project that Michael's been spearheading for a few years. And then we may also have him work on some right-of-way projects. We have 600 miles of roads throughout the county. Well less than half of those actually have right-of-way. There's a lot of roads within the county that we have right-of-way, but we don't necessarily have them on our maps or otherwise, and there's a lot of research that needs to be done to find out what we actually have. So we may utilize some of his time with that. This contract is for no more than 19 hours a week, starting on July 1st, and again ending on December 31st. He would be paid by the hour as needed, so it's not a flat rate. It's what our new county engineer Eric Engel would approve as projects and time worked. That's what he would be paid for. So basically, we're just looking to have him finish out some of this really big project, and then some right-of-way issues that we've wanted to look at for years.
Thank you, Manager Welker. Just want to publicly thank Mr. Bryce for his service to our county. He, 25 years is a pretty good run, and just grateful for him and for the things he was able to accomplish for us in our county. Any questions or
I'll echo
concerns?
that as well. He's been working very hard on this NRCS project for a lot of years, and it's moving forward at a snail's pace, but with him not being able to lead that, it would probably be difficult for Eric to step in there and do that. So again, I thank Michael for all of his services, and hopefully we can get this project over the finish line.
Yeah, ditto. As an engineer, I have heard so many things and seen so many positive things. His influence will, and his networking and his expertise will be missed.
Great.
Go ahead and make a motion to approve the consulting agreement between Graham County and Michael Bryce for engineering services from July 1, 25 to December 31, 25.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Would now like to take this opportunity for the board and the county manager to present a brief summary of current events and the last couple of weeks, and we'll start out with County Manager Dustin Welker.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'll be really brief. We'll have plenty of time for our work session this afternoon to talk about all of our projects. We had a 5-hour budget meeting with the board last week. We were able to put everything together that the department heads and elected officials presented to the board 3 weeks prior, and have a first look at all of those numbers, projects, tax rates, et cetera. So I thank the board for all of your due diligence prior to that meeting, and we'll have a second meeting here in a few weeks to put all those decisions back and all those decisions together and start looking at a preliminary budget here quickly. Just a couple updates. I provided fund balances as of the end of May that Julie provided on Thursday afternoon. So as we're in your staff report, everything is trending in the same direction as it has been. So we're in a good spot there. Out at the fairgrounds, we've been really busy. Our Department of Corrections paving crew started laying down our millings last week, and for the most part have that first parking lot all laid down, at least with the first lift and some of it with the second lift. That's 4 inches deep, doing 2-inch lifts out there. They've already started on the second parking lot as well, so we'll give a little more detail. Eric Engel's been working with our highway department with Daniel and Steve on how we're going to treat that once the millings are down, as far as an emulsion to stiffen it up and make it last for hopefully a very long time. Our shade structure, that was our old playground structure that burnt down. We were able to salvage most of the structural components on that. We were able to rebuild that in our maintenance yard, which turned out really nice. Wright Brothers did a really good job, and they completed that last week. The other project I just wanted to note, our Motorola upgrade project. This has been going on about 18 months now, which is what it was scheduled for. We knew this would be a huge project, upgrading all of our towers throughout the entire county to digital, upgrading our dispatch center to digital radios. We've been live now for about 4 weeks. Motorola's technicians have been on site quite a bit these last couple of weeks, working through any bugs. We've been communicating with Safford, Thatcher, and Pima chiefs and making sure they've been reporting any bugs in their areas. And we're at a really good spot. We're very close to being done with the project and anticipate being done before the end of this fiscal year. just want to note our Little League season out at the fairgrounds ended. We had our closing ceremonies last week, and we just had a really good year out there. Our concession stand contract was better than it has been in years past, and they'll continue that with our adult league here starting up soon and going through the summer. And then the highway department, they've been very busy since May 1st, chip sealing throughout the whole county. We're able to do Power Line Road as a new road. And then they've also been chip sealing all throughout Pima, Fort Thomas, and the central area. We're able to finish that last week, and then we have a small contract with the town of Pima. We're chip sealing 8 miles of road for them on a pay-for-play contract basis. So we're back on our graders, so we were off of those for a few weeks, and we had some calls, so I appreciate their patience, board's patience, but we have our 4 graders back up and running and grading roads again. So that's my report for now, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Start with Supervisor Howard.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Real quickly, on the 20th, we had our monthly Gila Valley Watershed Board meeting here at the county and discussing things that goes on with them. And then on the 26th, I participated in a Zoom call from the New Mexico Cattle Growers Association on the issues with the wolves and the reintroduction on them. It was a very in-depth meeting. I will be doing some other work with them. They're trying to delist, defund. I will say last Thursday, I believe it was, we removed, I shouldn't say we, they removed a pair of wolves out of Cochise County, and I believe 2 cubs. They were removed and relocated elsewhere for this program. Now on the 28th, we had our good long budget work session, which we hashed out a lot of important things for our next year's budget. 29th, I spent a couple hours with United Way Advisory Committee reviewing the new grants coming in. I just want to acknowledge again Michael Bryce's retirement. His party went very well. Ice cream was great. So that was great, but I just want to thank Michael for all his work over the last 25 years here in Graham County. And on Saturday, I just want to acknowledge I attended the service of Valerie Cook, which was one of the most heartwarming felt services that I've been at in years. It was very well done. My sympathy goes to the family. My condolences to Scott and his kids. They're amazing family. So Val will be very much missed here in the county. That'll be the end of my report.
Thank you. Vice Chairman.
Thank you. On the 19th, Monday, after our board meeting, I attended telephonically the Rural Transportation Advocacy Council. They are, because the budget is the state budget, they continue to allocate funds for resources other than infrastructure and highways. There's going to be very little money, so their priority programming efforts, which basically after the legislature's over, historically, at least the last couple of terms, the legislators are given a pot of money that they can then use in their areas, legislative districts, and there'll be very little this year. We do have one project that we've submitted, and the likelihood for that and just about anything else in SEGO is remote. Then the following day went to a Mount Graham Safe House board meeting. They are at full capacity. But the other good news is that they have not had any of their grants reduced, and so they're still at full funding. Wednesday morning, I was represented the board at a US 191 traffic safety and enforcement meeting. Sheriff Ellison from Greenlee County, as well as one of the supervisors, the county manager, Rapier, DPS, our sheriff, and City of Safford law enforcement, we convened, and as well as Town of Clifton convened and talked about strategies and efforts to improve safety. Their focus in Greenlee County is on the commuters from Safford to Morenci, but we added the concerns with the DPS about US 70 to the west. And so there's some efforts they're going to make. They're going to that they'll be announcing. They will have a public education, as well as they will have one day where they have a very high presence along the highway. They'll continue to write tickets, and Sheriff Ellison is actually impounding vehicles when people are criminally speeding, and putting it on Facebook, and usually that's met not met well, but because of the safety issues, the response from the public has been very positive for more enforcement. We're trying to get both DPS and the tribe to do more enforcement activity. Later that morning, went to Friends of the Library board meeting, and then later that week on Saturday, participated with the Gila Valley Veteran Services in placing flags at Safford Cemetery for veterans. That was a very meaningful activity for me, as I'd served many of those families and reacquainted myself with friends and community members. The Wednesday, May 28th, of course, we had our budget work session. The following day, there's a webinar for consent, autonomy, and court-ordered evaluations that I was able to attend and listen and learn. There was a Sun Pumps open house that the board individually were able to attend. This is a company that's going to stay local. It was purchased by the innovator, the founder, and now the Hoisington family. Two of the members of the Hoisington family are taking this company, and it has some international, already has international customers, but I see bigger and better things for it. And then finally, a number of services on Saturday, and then the Gila Valley Honor Guard had a dinner that I was able to assist in the setting up and serving the Honor Guard that are there present for veterans' funerals. And that's my report, but as a point of executive privilege, I would like to express the board's condolences to Clay Larson's family. He served us 16 years as the county school superintendent and passed away this last weekend. And what a prince of a fellow and a fine man. So his services will be, I think, this Saturday. That's my report.
Thank you, Vice Chairman. I don't have a lot to add. I spent a week on vacation with my family, but I did attend the budget meetings last week and want to thank Julie and her staff and Dustin for all the work and effort that you guys put into those to make them painless for us. You guys do a great job, and it doesn't go unnoticed. Saturday, I briefly stopped by the first responders softball tournament at the fairgrounds. It was very well attended, a lot of good food. I looked at the work that the Department of Corrections is doing on our parking lots out there, and those guys have done a great job, and want to thank Mr. Turley for him and himself and his crew and the great job they're doing there. That's really all I have to add. Do we have anybody for the call to the public? Okay, thank you, Hannah. All right, that'll end our meeting. We will be adjourned.